If you've heard about a self-directed IRA, the first question you might be asking yourself is, can I roll my existing retirement account over to a self-directed IRA? I've got an old employer 401k or I got a brokerage IRA. How can I use that to do self-directing where I'm investing in real estate, a private company, crypto, or other alternative assets? Can I use those existing retirement plan funds? In today's video, I'm going to break down the options and rules on how to get an existing retirement account over to a self-directed IRA. Now, when you open up a self-directed IRA, that's what we do every day here at our company, Directed IRA. You're doing that because you want to invest into a private asset. And generally, the broker-dealer IRAs or 401ks of the world make you invest into the mutual funds, target date funds, and stocks that they typically sell. They don't let you hold a private asset. So the first thing you're going to need to do is set up the self-directed IRA. And then the second thing is we need to move those funds from the existing retirement account. We don't want to have penalties. We don't want to have taxes. We don't want to take distributions. So how do I get those funds over to the self-directed IRA and then use those existing retirement account dollars to go make my investment with the self-directed IRA? Well, the first option I want to go over, which is the most common, is what's called a trustee to trustee transfer. And what this is let's say you have a brokerage IRA, and let's say it's a Roth IRA at TD Ameritrade that has $300,000 in it, and you want to use $100,000 of that to go make a self-directed investment into, let's say, a private fund. Well, what you would do is you would open up the self-directed IRA at Directed IRA, and we will initiate what's called a trustee to trustee transfer, where we would request $100,000 from that brokerage IRA at TD Ameritrade, and they will send it directly to your Roth IRA at Directed IRA. Now, there is no tax on that. You can do that as many times as you want. You can do a trustee to trustee transfer every day. A couple logistical things when you're doing that is you want to make sure that that cash is available. So if you have $300,000 in, let's say, mutual funds or an index fund, you'll need to get $100,000 to cash so that that cash can effectively make the transfer over, because you're typically going to be buying the new asset, in this example, the private fund, which you're going to need cash for. Now, we can transfer over public assets. So if you have stock, you can transfer over that stock to your Directed IRA account as well. And then we have to sell that eventually, though, to then go make the private company asset. Most people are just going to transfer cash directly over because they'll need the cash to make the alternative private asset investment they're planning for. But that's the most common trustee to trustee transfers from IRA to IRA. But what if you have a 401k? How does that work? Well, it's a little different. Hey, I'm cutting in here because I want to make sure you know all the stuff I'm talking about on my YouTube channel, investing in alternative assets, whether it's real estate or private funds or private equity, oil and gas, crypto, saving on taxes, all these concepts I love and I talk about here. I want to let you know we do this at my company, Directed IRA. So get on over to directedira.com/call and book an appointment with one of our self-directed IRA specialists that'll help you understand how to take control of your retirement. What that is what's called a direct rollover. The process is a little different. If you have an old employer 401k, that's the most common. I'm going to come to current employer 401ks here in a second. But if you have an old employer 401k, the first step is the same. Open up the self-directed IRA. Let's say it's traditional 401k dollars. So you open up a traditional IRA account at Directed IRA, and then you'll roll over those funds using what's called a direct rollover. Now, in that instance, you will request the rollover with the 401k administrator where the funds are currently at, and you will instruct them to send them to an IRA, which does not cause tax. There's no penalty. It's going to go right over to your IRA account, which is a qualifying retirement account. The difference here is you make the request with the old 401k provider instead of with the new IRA company. Okay, so that's called a direct rollover, and the funds are going directly into the new self-directed IRA where you can then go make your next investment. Now, if this is a current employer 401k, the rules are a little more tricky. A lot of current employer 401ks lock you down and say, while you're still an employee of this company, you must use this provider. You can't leave, whether you want to go do stocks with a brokerage IRA or you want to go do alternative private assets with a self-directed IRA like at our company, Direct IRA. They lock you down. Now, if you are retirement plan age, 59 and a half or more, you can move the funds out. Also, there's something called an in-service rollover where you can get money out of the 401k for employer vested contributions, not your employee contributions, but the one the employer puts in that are vested. You can typically move those out as well. A little more tricky process, but the old employer 401k, pretty simple and easy. Current employer 401k is easy if you're 59 and a half or older and at retirement plan age because they can't lock you in at that point. But for those younger than that, there are a little more restrictions on accessing those funds and getting it to a self-directed IRA. Now, the last thing you could do here is you could just make make a new contribution, right? You could make the new $7,000 contribution into the new IRA or other self-directed account, whether that's an HSA, a solo K. You can just put new contributions in, and it might take you a couple years or even a few years to get enough in to make the specific investment, but that is a way to fund that self-directed IRA as well, to then go out and make your alternative private asset investments. Now, the team at Directed IRA is here to help. We want to make this easy for you. That is our mantra. We want to help you with the paperwork. We want to make it electronic and as easy as possible. So reach out to us. We can help answer any questions, get the process started on getting those existing retirement account dollars over to your self-directed IRA so you can go and invest in the assets that you know and believe in and take control of your retirement.